Hello everyone, this is Grumpy Gamer. Welcome back to another episode of Tekkit with Grumpy. We're right here at the main house, and I've majorly upgraded the power grid. Uh, Two or three reasons for that. First of all, we've got weather going now, so by default weather doesn't work in Tekkit. You have to go into a file and turn it on. We all wanted it on because it's more realistic. Basically what it means, you have to build more like solar arrays and stuff like that. So, like, say for days when it rains, you're not going to be able to run your solar power. It won't work. So that means you have to have more storage. So what I did is I've upgraded these from 4 MFSUs to 7, and it's not just enough to add more MFSUs. You can add all of these. If you don't have the power to charge it, though, it doesn't do any good. So that's why we got so many HV arrays now. Another reason we got so many HV arrays is because we're running a mass fabricator. And a third reason, Lady Star is going to be taking one of these HV arrays. She hadn't played in a couple days, but she's working on her house, and so she's going to take one of these HV arrays. So we actually only have 6 here, which isn't quite enough. So I actually need more, but right now I don't have the resources to build anymore. It takes I think like 80 stacks of iron just to make one of these. That's just one resource, iron. It takes, oh, I don't know, stacks and stacks and stacks of every type of resource to make one of these things. I'm getting pretty fast making them. I can make one in like 45-50 minutes now. So basically the server's been up for, I don't know, about 2, 3, 4 weeks now. So I'll build, like, when I get the resources, I'll build these like one a day or something like that. So one every other day. There's days I don't build them, but right now I want to build a lot more. So I'm actually getting pretty darn fast at them. I can build an HV array in the time it used to take me to build an MV array. There's tricks and techniques the more you do it, like just project tables make it a lot faster. Also too, you make everything in stacks of 64. So like if you want to make say generators, make 64 at a time, make 64 electronic circuit at a time, everything. And actually, like, I've got all this stuff memorized now, so like if I know I want to make an HV array, I know it's going to take 16 stacks of electronic circuits, 8 generators, 24 stacks of coal dust, 24 stacks of glass. So I'll get all the resources ready, make all the basic stuff before I even craft it. So I'm getting pretty fast at it. But anyway, let me show you the mass fabricator. It's been upgraded a little bit, or actually not a little bit, a lot. But I don't remember how many MFSUs I had here last time I showed you, but I have 3 here now. And I think I might have already explained this before, but basically I use the MFSUs or any kind of battery box in general to regulate electricity. So I use that with energy links. Like, let's say I got a quarry going and I'll put a battery box online with the energy link, and that limits it to 32 EU. If you don't put that, there's a bug. The energy link will consume 72 EU per tick, regardless of whether you're using it or not. So I put a battery box there, but here you can see me using the same technique with the MFSU. Now I'm generating over 3,500 EU per tick. I don't want to feed all that into the mass fabricator. Honestly, I don't even know if it'd take it, but when I first built this mass fabricator, I only had 1 MFSU, and as I upgraded the power grid, I had more of these. So these 3 things right here are combined, are putting out a little over 1,500 EU per tick. This thing's getting 1,200 of it, and then I have a recycler in here getting about 300 of it. But anyway, let me show you this recycler now. This is just generating scrap to feed into the mass fabricator. If you feed scrap in a mass fabricator, it speeds it up a lot, like 3 or 4 times faster. So every time that you see right here, briefly say amplify, whenever it gets scrap, it speeds this up. So you can see it's pretty darn fast. It's making a lot of EU matter, or UU matter. But anyway, here's a cobblestone generator. Same design that's at the power plant in the man cave. But here's the timer to make it all work. Every time this thing puts out a pulse, 40 pieces of cobblestone get generated, and they get sent in the recycler. And you've got a 1 in 8 chance of anything you feed in there gets turned into scrap. So if you feed any block in there, it doesn't matter what it is, a piece of dirt or a diamond, you've got a 1 in 8 chance of getting a piece of scrap. Now, for that reason, you always want to put in stuff with low EMC value, like cobblestone's 1, dirt, stuff like that. Anything with an EMC of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, that's what you want to feed in here. Honestly, I just feed stuff in that's 1, but anyway, every time you put some in here, you get a 1 in 8 chance of getting scrap. So if you can look right here, you can kind of count the scrap and multiply 8. It gives you an idea of how much cobblestone's going in here. It's a lot. So there's 6, 7, 4. So if you take just that 7 times 8, that's like 56, I believe. That means it took roughly 56 pieces of cobblestone to make that scrap. But here we can see this filter right here sucks it out, comes up over, goes to here, and it goes down into the floor and comes up underneath. You have to feed scrap in from the bottom, and so there you go. You can see the scrap coming in. This thing eats it up really fast. So honestly, what I need to do is, if you look over here at the timer, it's only set at 2 seconds. If I speed it up anymore, this recycler can't keep up. So basically, I need 2 recyclers. So probably do that eventually. Basically, what I want to do is have this thing where it's got scrap all the time. But when the UU matter is created, it goes in this chest. I don't need this chest. The reason this chest is here, originally I didn't have all this, so all the UU matter was going in this chest, and I use the UU matter to make diamonds. Well, if you come in here about once a day, you end up with having 15, 20, 25 stacks of UU matter, and it gets a little tedious making the diamonds after so long. So I just had an automatic crafting table here, and so this converts all the UU matter into diamonds. And so I can come over to this chest, and there you can see I hadn't really timed it, but it's making a lot of diamonds now. I still want more. I know it's addicting. I just want to cram power and scrap in this thing until it blows up or just maxes out. I just want to see what happens. Basically, this thing's making diamonds, but I'm using all the diamonds to make more MFSUs and more HV arrays and all the stuff, just so I can get it even faster. But that's all I've been using it for. Eventually, maybe I'll get bored with that, and then all of a sudden I have a big massive machine with like just pumping out diamonds. But for right now, all these diamonds are just being used to upgrade the mass fabricator. So next I want to show you the man cave. I've done a couple little things there since last episode. It'll take a second to load. There we go. Okay, I added the door here finally. So, I gotta turn on my cursor. There we go. Alright, so let me show you how this works. Pretty straightforward. It's basically the same design as the elevator door. Now we're getting a little server lag, so it might take it a second or two. There you go. I don't think it's actually server lag. I'm not sure. It might be lag on my side. My internet's been acting up, but so has Omni's internet. Omni's the guy running the server. We think his internet might be acting up too. But anyway, there was the entrance from the outside. You got to have a cheaty ring to get up and down. Well, you don't have to. I mean, you could tard pillar up, but basically it's designed to where you fly up there and go in and out, but kind of like the bat cave type deal. But this is the antechamber. If you look right there, there's the door. You can't really see it. If you come in here, it looks like just a room, just a chamber of a cave, but there's nothing really in here other than these torches. But as I said before, I'm designing this base as if nobody's seen these videos before. If you've seen the videos, you're going to know, like, here's the button to work the door. Now, I do want to come up with a better method later of hiding the button. Actually not going to have a button in the future. It'll work off sensors or something. It'll just sense. Actually, the way I was thinking about doing it, I have to learn how to do it, but the sensors can actually read. It'll detect the player, and then it can actually read what's in their hand. So I was going to have it where, like, you have a yellow flower in your hand, the door opens if you're in range of the door. So I thought that would be pretty cool. Just have a random item. I probably won't use a yellow flower just because I mentioned that, but it'll just be some random item, and you put it in your hand, and then when you come up next to the door, it'll open it. But anyway, that's the first thing there. And secondly, I put in the rail I was talking about last episode. Let me come up here and show it to you. I made it out of yellow wool cover strips. And so last episode, you saw a dirt wall here. That was just to give me a scaffolding, so I have something to place this wool against when I built it. But that's this yellow wool. I think it looks cool in an industrial type environment. That's actually the color they use in industrial environments. They use a lot of yellow because yellow sticks out and grabs your eye, so it's like less chance of you tripping or hurting yourself if you see stuff that's yellow. So anyway, also have lights up here now and made it a little bigger. Bugs me low end about Minecraft, but you put lights on the floor instead of the ceiling. It sucks. Basically the reason why, because the ceiling's so high, if you put the lights up there, it'll still be too dark in here, and monsters can spawn like probably in these in-between areas. So I put the lights in the floor instead of the ceiling. But then the problem that creates is it just looks ugly. It looks stupid. I could put lights in the ceiling, but too, but that's just redundant. It's not necessary if you already got the lights on the floor. And I don't like to lower the ceiling anymore in like these type of industrial environments because I don't know what I'm going to have in here, all kinds of machinery or whatever, or wires going everywhere. And so I want that high ceiling just in case I like want to stack machines or run wires across the ceiling, that kind of thing. I don't know. I guess I could lower it one block, but then put the lights up in there, and then maybe put an interdiction torch right here, so if anything does spawn, they can't get inside the rest of the house. That's actually a thought. I may do that, or I may not. I don't know. We'll see. Now, I do plan on working on the power plant again, but I was just taking a break from it. So it's basically in the same state you saw it before. It's not on right now, although MFSUs are full, but I don't have a world anchor here or anything, so the only time these things work is when I'm in the house. So as you can see right there, it's making charcoal. It's kind of fast, but the problem is that that's a lot of generators, so it's not fast enough. But basically, like I explained before, these are kind of like batteries. I mean, this thing's storing this charcoal is going to be converted to electricity, so it's like potential energy. And so the more coal you have in here, the longer this thing can run. This thing can actually run quite a long time, probably. If that thing was completely full, it might run for an hour or two before the generator starts shutting off. Eventually, what will happen is if the charcoal runs out, it's still going to produce it, but it's not going to produce enough to run everything. And the way Red Power 2 works is the generators closest to here will get charcoal, and these down here will shut off. So the power will never shut off completely. It's just gonna the voltage will drop. It'll drop from like, well, I don't even know what the voltage is now. It's kind of buggy, but I think last time it was like 8 EU per tick. Aaron suggested that I put it in, if you break all these lines, split them apart, and put MFSUs. Sounds like a plan. It might fix it, but the problem is, you saw it in a video a couple episodes ago. I was actually getting 640 EU per tick. Each one of these was generating 10 EU, and right now they're generating 8, but it was working for a little while. Actually, I always read 8, and then when I went to record the video, for some reason it jumped to 6. It jumped to what it was supposed to jump to, and then I drained them all and put them back, and it dropped back down to 8 EU per tick. So definitely a bug somewhere. I'm really disappointed about that EU splitter too, because I've been playing Tekkit for about 2 months, and I was always thought it'd be cool if there was a way to actually switch electricity off and on, and I just accidentally discovered that EU splitter, which is awesome. But I put it in line right here. I instantly lost 200 EU, so that was unacceptable. I just really think that machine's glitched out. What I need to do probably maybe is tear all this stuff down and rebuild it, and maybe that'll get rid of the glitch. I don't know. It's a glitch, a bug, memory leak, whatever it is, but it just doesn't make sense the way it works. It seems like in the house, when I take readings over there, it seems like it's working properly. Here, it's like there's something wrong. If I click that generator and it's only showing 4 EU, that just doesn't seem right. It seems to me like it ought to be putting out 10 EU like it's supposed to. And this 10 EU packet will travel down the line and then drop down to 9 once it gets to the loss limit of the wire or whatever. But actually, what I think the way it works is, I was thinking you don't see an energy loss until 32 blocks, but some of this stuff, I think it generates small power losses. Like the EU splitter, it's only supposed to drop. It's supposed to make the EU drop by 0.5. So if you actually read EU, it's actually rounded off to the hundredth, so you can have weird amounts of electricity coming out of your system, off ball, like fractional amounts. Anyway, final thing I want to show you is Sly's house. He's making his own little house too. So now I'm showing his house. I don't want to show Aaron's and Malkuth's too much because honestly they're doing videos too, and so you can just go check out their videos if you want to see what they're up to. But Sly's not doing videos, so this is the only way you'll ever see his house is if I upload something. Here's like a library with a table. I think this room's pretty cool. It's probably my favorite in the house. Now here's the main antique chamber, I guess you'd call it. Now he does got a what's that called? Energy collector right there. We kind of got a gentleman's agreement not to use those for like diamonds, but the only thing he's using it for is charging Klein stars. And what he's using Klein stars is he likes playing around with the rings and stuff. So that's actually what he's using that for. He gave me one too. Seems pretty handy. Basically, like this ring is Swift Wolf's Rendingale. That's what lets me fly. It's pretty cool. I use it when I'm building and stuff. I don't use it caving. Actually, when I'm caving, this is what I do. I'll take it and anything else of value that I don't want to ever lose. I'll put it up inside my alchemy bag. And so if you die with an alchemy bag, the instant you craft another one of the same color, all the stuff that was in the bag shows up in it. So like all the stuff right here, if I was to die, I'm gonna lose the bag, but when I craft another one of the same color, all the stuff will be back in it. But anyway, the ring usually uses coal or redstone, so as you're flying around you'll have like a couple stacks of coal on you, and every now and then it'll just consume a piece of coal, but instead it gets its power off this Klein star, which is kind of cool. He gave that to me, and I've been using it some. It's pretty cool. Now it does save a little resources because you're not using coal anymore, but honestly coal's not that expensive at this stage in the game. But using it more for the convenience, not having to mess with coal. A lot of times what would happen is you carry around 2 or 3 stacks of coal and you're building and you're building and building, and all of a sudden you might be over lava and you lose power, you fall to your death, and you basically lose everything because the ring died. And the only reason it's dying, it's not necessarily you're out of coal. I might have a bunch more coal in my bag, but I just periodically forget to check. So I always, before I had this thing right here, I'd have 2 or 3 stacks of coal in here, and periodically I'd grab some more coal. So that thing's pretty cool. As you can see, I hadn't done much with it. It's just, you put your ring right, you put this thing in right here, and let me show you. And right now it's generating EMC, and you stick it in there. At the end of the day, he doesn't have it very fast. You see, it's only generating, that cobblestone generator is generating 4 or 5 times as much EMC, so he's not getting carried away with it. He's just using it to charge up stuff. But anyway, let's see what we have. Did I show the swimming pool? I don't remember, so I'll just show it again. I guess it's a swimming pool, but here's this little swimming pool. And over here's his bedroom. Yeah, I like his bedroom. He got a bed here. I guess he got a little dresser with a couple doors there. He's got his computer there where he can play Minecraft or look at porn. Here's his balcony, and I think this may be new. I've never seen this. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh cool, he's got a head. He's got a shower. That's pretty slick. For some reason, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm going to suggest this to him, but what you do, I've seen people do this, you put a lever in there and have it where it's pointing down. It looks like a spout for the showers. I may have mentioned that to him. But anyway, it's a Grumpy Gamer. If you're wanting to play on an LMC server, we have 2 servers. This right here is the YouTube server where we just mainly do videos. To get on this server, you basically invite only. If you're doing YouTube videos and you got up 20 or 30 videos or quality videos, in other words, not bad audio or this or that, if you just send me a personal message and I'll check out your videos, and we go from there. But if you just want to just play on one of our servers, we got 2 servers. This is Tekkit 2. We got a Tekkit 1. Tekkit 1's open to pretty much anybody. What you got to do is go to the forums. I'll put a link in the description, but You just go there and fill out like an app, and you don't even have to be a member. You can just apply and be a friend. But if as long as you're at least a friend, you can get whitelisted for the Tekkit One server. We have a code of conduct. You still got to follow the code of conduct, even though if you're just a friend. But honestly, it's mostly basic stuff like don't be a dick. Yeah, I can just sum it up like that. But it's like that. It's like honor, maturity, and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, there's a code of conduct. You, it's like I say, mostly common sense. But anyway, you can go to the forums. Just leave a message, say, "Hey, I want to play Tekkit One." They'll make you a friend. They'll whitelist you. As long as you're not griefing the server or you're not being a brat, being immature, or any of that, you'll have a good time on there. But anyway, it's a Grumpy Gamer. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to hit that like button. It helps out my channel. But we'll see you next time.